Okay, this is People of the State of Michigan versus Ricky Scusa, docket number 79-29715FH. This is the time set for a hearing on the Mr. Scusa's motion to set aside a conviction in this court from years ago. And could I have the attorney's appearances for the record, please?
Thank you, Your Honor. Jeff Landon on behalf of Mr. Scusa, who is seated at my right.
Good morning, Your Honor. Elizabeth Allen on behalf of the people.
Okay, and Mr. Landon, I do take testimony on these, so Mr. Scusa, would you raise your right hand, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir. And Mr. Landon, if you would take it from here, please.
Thank you. Mr. Scusa, will you state your name for the record and spell your last name?
Ricky Allen Scusa, S-K-U-S-A.
Mr. Scusa, we filed a petition with this court asking the court to set aside a 1979 felony conviction. Is that accurate?
Yes.
Aside from that 1979 felony conviction, do you have any other convictions on your record?
No, sir.
And it's been more than how many years since you were off probation on that felony conviction, generally?
40?
Okay. It's been more than 5?
Yes.
Okay. In your background check, it popped up something about a 1995 domestic violence in Clinton County. Do you recall that?
I do.
But there was no conviction there.
No, sir.
There was also something in 1980s in Florida,
Yes, sir.
but there was no conviction there as well.
No, sir.
So, you and I have talked about this, and we can maybe share with the judge. Why is it important for you to do this?
Just want to clear my record. I'm tired of living with felony on my record. Just want to get everything cleared up.
Your Honor, I have no further questions. I believe I've given the court enough to show that he is eligible under the statute for an expungement. I mean, we're happy to answer any other questions that court may have, but that's all I have.
Let me see first if Ms. Allen has any questions. Ms. Allen?
I don't, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay. And so, Mr. Scusa, I have to ask this only because I got burned on it once. Do you have anything currently pending criminal-wise right now?
No, ma'am.
Okay. And I did see the 2 things from Florida that were misdemeanors, which wouldn't make you ineligible even if they resulted in a conviction. But you're saying that neither one of those did result in a conviction, correct?
No, ma'am.
Okay, and then let me just ask you one other thing, because this obviously is an old file and it was not clear. But it looks to me, and maybe you can't answer this, but it looks to me like Judge Harrison had originally granted you what we call Section 7411 status, like a special status where if you complete probation, it comes off your record. Does that sound like something you remember?
Yes, ma'am.
And then it looks to me like at some point he wasn't happy with your performance on probation and he revoked that but left you on regular probation. Does that sound familiar?
It may be because I had left the state and went to Florida. And then when I came back, I took care of the issue, and then that's when he released me.
He
Okay.
did so without the court's permission, Your Honor. Back, he was young, and he went to Florida. And when he came back, he got back with the court, and they had revoked the 7411.
Yeah, I'm not really so much concerned about that as to the merits of granting this expungement, but our file is suppressed. And it's suppressed under, I think, a belief that he had 7411, which of course, if he did, there'd be no reason to even have this expungement hearing. But it looked to me from a very vague order that Judge Harrison granted that he did just what I described. He revoked the 7411 and kept him on regular probation and then ultimately discharged him from regular probation. So if that's all correct, I would just direct our court clerk, if she can do this, that by way of an order that Judge Harrison entered.
And Your Honor, I share your feelings about the court file. I went back and forth with court records on this a lot, trying to locate things from the 1970s. But I was able to request things. That makes me, think that it wasn't sealed completely, at least.
Right, so here's the thing. I think it is suppressed, but you say you were able to find things? Okay.
I attached a copy of the Register of Action and the one order to my petition. I mean, the court gave me those. They wouldn't have had they been, or they shouldn't have, had they been non-public.
True. It's just, I think it printed out on my schedule as a suppressed case. And the prosecutor's agreeing with me, and she has the same ability to look in the case computer program that I do. Because it looks to me like, again, these are not even in chronological order, so it is very confusing, but there is an order. It looks to me like there's two orders revoking his probation, and one was just to take him off 7411, and then the other one was the ultimate regular probation revocation. So if this is suppressed, I would just ask the clerk to unsuppress it. And I have, did the people have any position on the expungement itself?
No, Your Honor. Based on everything we have, he's also eligible, and we have no objection. Thank you.
I have received the Michigan State Police report that I'm required to have before we can have this hearing. And it does appear to me that Mr. Scusa has only been convicted of one felony. And this is not an offense for which a conviction may not be set aside. It's been more than 5 years since the sentence was imposed or he was discharged from probation. An opportunity's been given to the Attorney General and the prosecuting official to contest the application. Neither has. The circumstances and behavior of Mr. Scusa justify setting aside the conviction. I think it's consistent with the public welfare. I will grant the petition to set aside the conviction. And I am signing an order reflecting that right now. So Mr. Scusa, congratulations. You are good to go right now. I've signed the order. We'll send it out to all of you. Is there anything further?
No, thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you for your time.
You're welcome.
Thank you
Good
for
luck.
your decision. Thank you, ma'am, very much.
You're very welcome.